But you've had a lot of Republican defections on Iraq as well. Just today, just a few minutes ago, Vanity Fair magazine reported that Richard Pearl and Ken Edelman, two of the strongest early supporters of the war, say that now they would not have supported the invasion if they knew how incompetent the administration would be in handling it. Listen to Ken Edelman. He called your administration among the most incompetent administrations in the post-war era. Individually, each team member had serious flaws. Together, they were deadly dysfunctional.
Well, I haven't seen the piece. I'm not going to comment on George.
But Richard Pearl and Ken Edelman were two of the strongest supporters of the administration.
Well, I think there's no question but what it's a tough war, but it's also the right thing to do. And it's very important we complete the mission. I just fundamentally disagree.
So will the vote on Tuesday have any effect on the president's Iraq policy?
I think it'll have some effect perhaps in the Congress, but the president's made clear what his objective is. It's victory in Iraq. And it's full speed ahead on that basis, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Both you and Secretary Rumsfeld have such deep experience in the government, in the House, as White House Chiefs of Staff, as Pentagon Secretaries, now you as Vice President. How do you explain the failure to anticipate more of these problems, the failure to prepare for them?
Well, George, I don't buy the analysis, basically. I think clearly there have been problems. There always are in any war. The change always begins immediately as soon as you launch into conflict. And this one's clearly no different than that. But I think, again, I come back to the basic proposition. I think we've got the basic strategy right. That is, the Iraqis have to ultimately take responsibility for their own fate, both militarily as well as from a political standpoint. That's the strategy. Our objective is victory, and that's the road we're walking down.
But you've been talking a lot about the consequences.
Press may not like it. It may be controversial. There'll be politicians who want to argue against it, and it may not be popular.
Seems like the public is turned against it right now.
It may not be popular with the public. It doesn't matter in the sense that we have to continue the mission and do what we think is right, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're not running for office. We're doing what we think is right.